to the next video in my All England Manchester United Football Manager 14 game. This video is going to take you from the end of August to, like I said in the previous video, the middle of December. The Champions League has just finished. As you can see from the screen, I've just beaten Legia Warsaw 2-0. We'll get into the Champions League a little bit later. I'd like to start with the Premier Division first, just to give you an update as to how I'm doing in the league. When I last left you, we just lost my first two opening games and then won the third game. The second game I'd been utterly thrashed by Chelsea, so I've altered the tactics a little bit, made the squad not quite as attacking as I'd had in the past, and it seems to be paying dividends. Let's go to the Premier League table. So instead of played 3, won 1 and lost 2, you can see from the next 12 games I've won 8 of those. So the team's 5th. I anticipate that I get above both Stoke and Southampton later in the season. I'm only 2 points behind them, and after that shocking start I should be getting better throughout the season. What I've really struggled with is the defence at the moment. They've conceded 24 goals, which makes me one of the worst defences in the league, but thankfully my attack is one of the best. As I've scored 31 so far, there's only Chelsea that have scored more. It doesn't help when they beat me 6-1 as well. So if I show you all the games that I've played this season, so the third game was a win for myself, but after that went on a good run of games. Beat Liverpool 4-1, then beat West Ham 4-1, scored 4 against Newcastle, as you can see there. Went on to beat Aston Villa 4-1, then lost 4-0 at Arsenal, who seem to be by far and away the best team in the league at the moment. I had a bit of a slump after that. I drew at Swansea, struggled to beat Southampton away, but then beat Hull 1-0 and then Everton 3-1. Beat Fulham 3-0, then lost at City and drew against Sunderland before, say, the last game against Legia, which I've just played. So in all, not the worst season so far, but could be better. Certainly going to try and improve that over the second half of the season. The best players that I've had so far have been Robin van Persie and Juan Mata. I think Van Persie scored the most amount of goals. He's got 8 so far this season in 15 games. Mata's contributed 7 from an attacking midfield, but he has the best average rating as well of the players that I have. A success story so far has been Daniel Welbeck. He scored 7 goals in 9 starts and he's played really well for England as well. So he's playing really well. Wayne Rooney hasn't been playing at all. Not out of the choice, he's been injured for 3 months, so I haven't been able to play him alongside Robin van Persie. To update you with the Champions League, we'll just go back to the previous screen. I'll show you how that's gone. I finished top of the group and all, won 3, drawn 2, lost 1. That defeat was away at Legia when I played my reserve team with the second game, but again qualified with ease. In the end, 2 points clear of Ajax, who I beat at home and drew away. So all in all, successful season at the moment so far. I've got qualified for the knockout stage of the Champions League, and I'm on course, I think, to qualify for the Champions League again next season by finishing in the top 4 of the Premiership, which is all I'm asking for really, while the team beds in and I try and get more English players into the side. Thinking back to the squad, Luke Shaw's been quite good so far this season. He's played 12 games so far. I'm trying to play him as much as I can instead of Patrice Evra, although at the moment they're playing running about the same amount of games. I'm trying to use Luke Shaw a little bit more in the second half of the season. Phil Jones, I'm trying to play as many games as possible. He was the Young Player of the Month actually in November, whereas Juan Mata was Player of the Month as well in September. So again, encouraging signs of Phil Jones. I'm going to try and play him as much as I can in the second half of the season. I'll update you with the news that's going on around the league as well. I'll start with England. They did eventually qualify for the World Cup, and they've got Australia, Chile and Holland in their group, so they probably won't get to the group stage if the game's as realistic as it should be. Although they have had some encouraging friendly results. They beat Brazil 1-0, and then they also beat Spain 3-1, and Daniel Welbeck scored in both those games. He also scored 4 against the mighty San Marino. So his international record is looking pretty good at the moment. As you can see, he's got 23 caps and 14 goals, which is not bad for a player that's not too high. His finishing is only ranked at 14. So he's done quite well. I've added a couple of coaches to my staff. I've employed Steve Clark and Gary Neville, again 2 British coaches, and I'm trying to make them better as I go along. As I said earlier, Wayne Rooney was injured for 3 months, so that hasn't helped him, but again in the second half of the season I'm going to try and play him as much as I can and put him in the team instead of Van Persie. A couple of managers have been sacked as well. Spurs sacked Tim Sherwood pretty quickly, replaced with Marcelo Bielsa. But after I beat Fulham in the league, they immediately sacked Felix Magath and hired Malky Mackay to replace him. Also very interestingly, Liverpool sacked Brendan Rodgers in November and then replaced him with Andre Villas-Boas. The reason for being they're 12th in the league. Not a great start for Liverpool. So they've only won 6 games out of the 15 they've played this season. And I know Suarez isn't playing at the moment. You can see there that he's injured, and so is Daniel Sturridge, which doesn't help them. Yeah. So we look at how well they've played so far this season. And Suarez only has 3 goals in 8 games. Daniel Sturridge has been on fire. He's got 9 goals in 5 starts and 3 games, but he has been injured. So again, they can't play him at the moment. We'll go back to the Premier League actually, and have a look at the stats of the players and see who's doing the best at the moment. Yeah. Now if we go to the overview. So the best player so far in the league this season has been Eden Hazard. His average rating is over 7.5. He's the only player to do so. Top goal scorer is Olivier Giroud's got 13, and Christian Benteke behind him with 10. Of course, if Daniel Sturridge had been fit, I think he'd been far away the top goal scorer in the league. Assists have been shared by Wes Hoolahan, but also Adnan Januzaj of Man United, which is good because he won't be there forever. I hope he's going to get better at United, and I can sell him for more money to bring in some more English players. I think that's it for this video. Again, the next video that I'll do will probably be an update from now until the end of the January transfer window, so only about 6 weeks in the game, and from there we'll go to the end of the season. Again, like if you like it, and if you've got any comments, please leave them in the top below. Thanks very much. Bye bye.